Hello and welcome to Comic Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Eric McElroy. Hello.
Hello. Welcome along. This is your twice-a-week comedy show where we look at the problems in the news and any problems that you send to us as well, and we gosh darn try and solve them. If you are, in fact, we'll just swap this over. We're at the start of the show, so do the world a favour and share the link. Send people to the YouTube. Let's get a nice group of people watching these solutions that they can then apply and make the world a better place. During the show, if you'd like to contribute, you can send messages. You can message on the YouTube. You can message wherever you're watching it as well. Also, hello to people who've already bought tickets to this. Hello to you. And later on, we'll be talking about how, if you're enjoying it, you could chuck some money in our little pot to keep this project up and running. But get sharing, get messaging, get some problems in our directions, and we'll do our best to solve it. I think we've covered all the things right out of the trap in less than a minute. Look at that.
I have to say, that's very tidy, Steve. Yeah. You've really just wrapped it up, packaged it up nicely, and said, this is what the shit is.
Yeah. You can tell someone's been back doing radio this week. Hell yeah. Look at that. Get it done in 30 seconds, hook through the ads, and press play.
Going to put some Phil Collins on now? Is that what you're going to
do? Why not?
I know the music that's on that station. Let me tell you. They like Billy Joel. So do I.
Yep. Really bringing in that young audience. That's what I'm doing these days.
Anyway, right. It's my turn to start off with the problem, Steve. And I know this is a problem you are really familiar with, and it is a problem of fraud.
How dare you?
Something you know quite a bit about. It's actually it actually connects with a problem that we talked about on Thursday. So basically, it is a problem what to do with fraud, specifically what to do with voter fraud, especially if you've just been voted out as president of the United States. And of course, we can see here Donald Trump's coping really well with how things are going. He's been escalating, the campaign has been escalating accusations of voter fraud in Georgia. It's a southern state that he lost. He's quite upset about that. He thought that they were proper racists like him. And he's like, I had that in the bag. Civil War, don't tear down the statues. Come on, guys, let's do this. Yeah, turns out those aren't the masks they like to wear anymore. It's new masks. Take off the hood, put on the mask. He's been upset about it. And before we go any further, actually, because we talked about all the emails I've been getting from the Trump campaign, literally, as we were just about to go on air, I got another one from Trump. He really does like me. And it says here they've got 234 pages of sworn affidavits about electoral irregularities in just one county in Michigan. I mean, the problem is, well, here's some of the things. He's got eyewitnesses saying a bunch of ballots where 60% of them had the same signature. Eyewitnesses saw a batch of ballots. So batch, which is a technical term, isn't it? We all know how much a batch is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
3 bushels.
3 bushels a batch that were scanned in 5 times, 35 ballots not counted, a poll worker marking no ballot on a cancel, a couple. There's a list of things here, but even if they have 234 affidavits of fraud, let's say that each of those people saw about 10 votes fraudulent. That's like 2,340 votes. See, I can do maths when I want to, Steve. The only problem is in Michigan in particular, he's losing by 100,000 votes. So, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But we take the piss out of Trump. We make fun of them and things. But I did want to, I care about what's happening in America. So I went out on social media and I've heard about all these allegations. And I found someone who's actually behind one of the affidavits that is accusing people of committing fraud in the election. And I was able to speak to them earlier today. And here is my conversation. Joining me now is Gary, who says that he's witnessed voter tampering firsthand. Gary, thank you so much for coming forward and sharing your story.
Hey, you could call me Gare. You don't have to call me Gary. You can call me Gaz. Call me Gaz. That's what everybody calls me, a little bit of Gaz. Because that's what I am. I'm a Gaz. Yeah, like my Gaz. Yeah. I mean, I do drive an electric car, though.
Okay, so you said Trump won the election because you saw some significant voter fraud?
Oh, yeah. Like in Florida in 2000, back then. Yeah, that was the Bush. Yeah, we don't really like Bush anymore. No, don't go for Bush no more. Don't really get any anymore. Just me. Me and the stag.
Well, Florida was just one state with only 500 ballots separating the candidates. Now we're talking about 5 or 6 battleground states and literally thousands upon thousands of ballots.
Those are just numbers.
All right, so just tell me what you've seen.
My friend Suze, yeah, she was down at Betsy's salon, and there was her third cousin. She was getting her hair done, and she hadn't seen her for a few years because they had a little bit of a falling out about something. I don't know, but I heard there was a boy involved. But she was told that she saw somebody tweet, I think it was the president, and he said that the election was fake.
Well, that's not any information at all. That's just what the president tweets. I thought you had seen some actual ballot tampering.
Oh, that? Well, yeah. You see, my sister's brother, he was going to vote for Sleepy Joe. And I thought, I'm not having that in my family, not in Gaz's family. No. So I snuck in and I took his ballot. I still got it. So it's too late now. I'm gonna burn it later.
Why would you do that? You took his ballot?
Well, yeah. There's no way I'm having somebody related to my sister vote for Sleepy Joe and that Commie Law Harris. You see what I did there? I turned her name into Commie Law, right? Commie Law. So what I did there is I willfully mispronounced her name to show intentional disrespect.
Taking a ballot is a federal offense. You've broken the law, Gary.
Wait, what? No. Well, yeah, so what if I did? It doesn't matter, because you got me in one of those shadow things. You don't know who I am.
You didn't ask for that. We can totally see you right now.
Well, I think that any voter interference in an election is terrible. And I would, if anybody was gonna do it, it would probably be the Democrats.
Gary, I think you're going to have to get yourself a lawyer. I'm sorry to say that.
Okay. Good to talk to you. Bye.
Take care of yourself. I think Rudy Giuliani would be the perfect lawyer for him. He's going to be available soon.
So there we go, Steve. I'm worried about this. I think Biden could. Biden's got it in the bag. He's going to be the next president.
You reckon?
That's the most credible person they've been able to find.
You never know, though, because didn't Trump win Alaska earlier today?
He did, and you know what's funny? He accepted the results of that even before they've been validated.
Wow.
And he allowed the media to call the race.
But if he continues like this, if you extrapolate that forwards, he could eventually win if you remove the limitation of the number of states that there are. If he could add like another 10 states before they're done. Just saying.
Yep. I think Russia would come in on his side.
Indeed.
Just saying. So there we go. That's my special report and green screen technology there.
Good acting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Some of the messages we've already got on this. I'll bring this up. It says, Chris Curling says, American-based method.
Yeah. You see, it's about the beard. So when the beard, if anybody wants to know when Gary or Billy Bob are coming back, when the beard starts to get full, he's coming.
Good special effects. Britt says, evening all. Mark says, y'all doing method.
Thank you.
Nice stuff.
Dang rootin' tootin' method. I like that as well.
Yep.
And now it's into some
Ballum Mitchum method. Yep, making it London based.
Cockney writing slang, tooting Ballum. There we go.
Wow. So you think there's not going to be any evidence of any voter fraud at all?
No.
Interesting.
Not. I mean, there are. Of course, there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be people who've moved, who voted in the wrong place, that kind of thing. I mean, I voted like 8 times in different states, but I mean, that's not enough to change the election result. That's the thing. And it's too much of a margin in too many places. So even though they may go through and do a recount in Georgia, which they're doing by hand, and other places, it's just not enough to change the needle. And it's all over, but for the dismantling of the American democracy.
You see, I find this fascinating because for me it is the greatest American mystery at the moment. This is, trying to find the evidence. I love all this. It becomes cinematic. It becomes almost film noir. Because I've always been a fan of the kind of Philip Marlowe style ways of investigation. In fact, so much so, earlier on I was on one of the places where you get audiobooks It's called Audible. There it is. I was on
Yeah.
Audible, and I managed to download an audiobook. And any Trump fans watching this, and I know we get loads of them, will love this. You should go and get this audiobook. It is absolutely fascinating about what's going on.
It was a cold October night. I was making my way to the bottom of another bourbon. That's when a dame walked in. She said she had a case. I said it looked more like she had an overpacked trunk. She didn't get my butt joke. She wanted me to find something no one else could. I said sure, shaped like a little man in a boat, but she wanted evidence. Evidence of voter fraud. Sure, I could gumshoe my way around all the polling stations, see what people have been doing, but counting votes is kind of what elections are all about. It's like being shocked that people are drinking in a Weatherspoons. If you weren't doing that, then why would you waste the night there? I told her the case wasn't for me, but she made me an offer I couldn't refuse, seeing as I've been on furlough and still had bills. Okay, I said. Supposing I find evidence that the votes are dirtier than Bear Grylls' underpants, what then? She said I should take the evidence and burn it, never let it see the light of day. She didn't want it stopping what she had planned this year, big plans, to make herself rich and the happiest she'd been in ages. That was the last time I saw Melania Trump and the case of the missing voter fraud.
So I'd say go and download it.
Nice. I like the fade out on that one. That was good.
It's dramatic, isn't it?
Slow fade. Look at that. Look at the genres we're covering. We got the Western angle going on.
Raymond Chandler
Crime
stuff, yeah.
Angle. This show's got range.
This stuff is worth more than 3 pence. I'd shut that down there. There's the Ko-fi link. Some of the messages coming through as well. Navman says, I believe that the Donald wants to add Chigley, Campbellwick Green and Trumpton as new states. I'm just saying, if he keeps doing it and keeps winning them, he could pull this one out of the bag.
Eric's never going to get a state, bless him. Let's see what Britt has said. Will Trump be like Frankenstein's monster, forever wandering the Alaskan waste grounds? Ooh, where'd that go? Now that he's won. Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, he won't go to Alaska. It's too cold. There's no golf. And yeah, he's going to want to be in a place where people are wearing bikinis, just not him.
Mark says, is that a voting card in your pocket or are you just pleased to see me? Yeah, she. And then Chris says Sean Connery lives on. Oi, I was just trying to up some of the S sounds to try and be a little bit Bogartish, but I was in a rush. Stop picking on me. This is method.
Oh, look at that. John's finally managed to drop us a vodka and Steve a bottle of large water.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. You got me a vodka and you a water.
I do like to stay hydrated.
Yeah, you do. And I think it's been established that I drink a little bit more than Steve does.
Yes, indeed. Although even I was upset this week to hear that Guinness had to recall some of their alcohol-free products because they were contaminated. It's like also recall them because they don't have any alcohol in them. I mean, it's 2020. People don't want to be able to feel by the end of the day. You should be able to get your money back for that.
Yeah, Guinness doesn't count as alcohol. It's like a vitamin.
Yeah, it's a meal. So you can get yourself, you can message by sending messages on the YouTube thing. Get subscribed to that. The message boards are open. We'll keep checking those. Twitter's on the screen as well. And if you're enjoying the show enough, chuck some coins in our pot. It keeps this project alive. So on to the next problem. How do you solve a problem of making sure that the vaccine doesn't go wrong? Because we heard, it was in Tuesday's show, you can go back and watch it, there's a vaccine, it's 90% effective, and then a few days later Russia said that their vaccine was 92% effective. Ooh.
Typical.
2%. Ooh. But it's been a good week for all of this news when it comes to cures and treatments and all that. For example, Professor Jonathan Van Tam said that he would be at the front of the queue for the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine. And I heard him say that and thought, you wouldn't, mate. His surname's Van Tam. That's not how they do it. As an Allen, I am offended that you are trying to take my place. When I was at school, whenever we had the arm jabs and all that stuff, I was always the first for the test and then for the actual injection and all of that. It was terrifying. And I told my dad about it, and he, because obviously had the same surname, he gave me a tip. He said when he was in the army, same thing. They used to have injections, and he was always the first, and he learned a nice little technique. And this is useful for anyone who's got an early in the alphabet surname. What you do is you just suck it up, you get brave, and you realise you're going to have your injection anyway, and you go in. And you get your injection, and then as you walk past everyone in the queue waiting to get theirs, you play it up like it's the worst torture you've ever had. So, sure enough, I went in there, got my BCG, and walked out like, oh, the humanity! And then just watched everyone burst into tears. So it's a little top tip from my dad to you. Yeah, sweet dad.
I thought you were going to finish that by saying, and you were the teacher as well.
And then I got off the bus. But so that's the vaccine. Hopefully things are going well with that. Meanwhile, there's also this £5 quick test thing that they're talking about that could mean that, I mean, they call it a pregnancy style test. And I'm not sure why is that because most people taking it want it to be negative? Is that? I don't know why, but good news, if it works, it only costs like £5. You get the results really quickly, and it means that we can get back to normal life because, and this is what I love, here's a great plan. Britons who test negative for COVID should wear paper wristbands to show that they don't have the virus, Number 10's nudge unit says. And that goes to show it's good that the supermarkets have been practicing cordoning off the stationery aisle, because those things could be relatively easy to fake. Let me through. So that's where we stand with that. But then there's also another treatment, a therapeutic, which could be good for us.
Okay.
Here's the problem. It's called, oh God, Bamlanivimab. Bamlanivimab. It's like a flipping warm-up that we should do before we come on screen. Why would you call a drug something like that? It just seems like it's going to make it harder. Like, could you imagine being in a pharmacist trying to ask for it? Could I have some? It's like, you've had enough, mate, by the sounds of it. And this is from America, where I think in America you have adverts that say things like, why not ask your doctor for Bamlanivimab? Because if I say that near him, I'll spit in his face, and you're not allowed to do that during COVID. It's ridiculous. By the time I've pronounced it, I'll need therapeutics for me jaw. So it's a bizarre treatment. It's a very difficult to pronounce word. To find out more about this, I'm actually joined by one of the researchers from the company. Hello.
Hello, Steve.
So tell us about the drug.
Bamlanivimab is an antibody treatment that could be useful for those with COVID-19.
Bit hard to say, though, isn't it? Bit hard.
Is it? It's not that difficult. I mean, Bamlanivimab. It's no more difficult than saying something simple like Peter Piper went to pick a peck of pickled pepper. It's not even the most complicated name of the drugs on our books. We have the related product, Bamlanivimab, and the drug that one really shouldn't give to anyone with COVID-19, Bamlanivimab. You don't want to get those confused. And our new product, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Couldn't say any of those. Are these going to hit the hospitals in time?
Yes, we will be using our advanced logistics distribution system that's better than just sending out trucks.
And how does that work?
We send out a red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry.
Well done.
Thank you.
The one take Charlie. Look at that. Nice.
That was not one take.
That was not one take. My God. So yeah, look. That's the late. I'm not sure if we solve that problem. Actually, we do solve the problem. Rename the drugs so that we can say them, and I think more people might actually be able to benefit from them.
Yeah, I mean, I can still barely say hydroxychloroquine. Nailed it.
But you've learned it. You've learned how to say that now. It doesn't matter because there's Bamlanivimab.
I'm going to do a Trump impression as soon as he's out of office. just to be topical.
Keeping it fresh.
That's nice. Yeah, a big blue bug bit a big black bear, and the big black bear bled black blood.
Wow.
I can do tongue twisters too, Steve.
Wow.
But I can't say hydroxychloroquine. I can now. I can say it. I've been cured.
Can you say Bamlanivimab?
No, because whatever I say, it'll sound racist. Chris noticed something that I noticed in the comments here during that, is that number 10's nudge unit. Is that something that I should know about? Or is that why the communications director just left this week?
Yeah, isn't it amazing? I was shocked when I heard about the communications director leaving. I thought to myself, they had a communications director? Wow, imagine how bad it would have been without him.
Was just give him a nudge and he's gone. What's a nudge unit?
So it's nudge theories. It's about how to get groups of people to do things.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the guy who got not technically a Nobel Prize, because economics doesn't get a Nobel Prize. It gets like a Nobel voucher. I'm not sure they do it. But for, nudge theory, it's like a...
But there's a whole unit doing it in number 10?
I guess there is. I hadn't heard of it before that story, but yeah.
They need to get some PR.
Mark says it sums up their policies. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more. Say no more. Because our policy's rubbish. Say no more. Hey? Nods as good a wink to a blind horse.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, that was some good linguistical skills there, Steve.
Thank you.
Good.
I mean, what a stupid day for me to try and record something like that. I was busy all day and then had to practice it in the car on the way back. And I thought it was a bit touch and go whether we could get that done.
But you did. Look at that.
oh,
That's
Lynn-
the kind of show that's worth paying for.
Lynn says Gary was last seen working at the Four Seasons Landscaping. That's so good.
Bless them. They're selling merchandise, by the way. Four Seasons Landscaping.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant. I love the fact they're actually helping the economy. It's the best thing Trump's done for the economy.
Well, that's what his future is going to be. That's why he's been taking down Fox News and stuff. It's going to be going into landscaping and television.
I'm Donald Trump. Would you like your lawn to look like this?
Maybe there's that famous. I don't know if you've seen the picture of him sort of yelling at the boy who was cutting the grass.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So I mean, clearly he was hiring.
You're raking it all wrong. Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
Right, are we caught up on comments?
Yeah.
From the ones I can see, I think we're good. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. That's where we're kind of, that's the best place to comment as well. That's where everybody is. Right. All right, Steve. I have a feeling this is going to be one that does not endear me to the British audience. And it's something that if you're watching from any other country, you're going to be like, what the fuck is he talking about? And this is the problem. It is a uniquely British thing, I think. And it is the problem of the Christmas advert season. I'm not talking about the Christmas season. I'm talking about the Christmas advert season, because I saw this headline today. John Lewis Christmas advert. When's it released? What's it going to be the song this year? And now I want to know. All I want to know is who gives a shit? It's a fucking commercial. It's the worst thing about Christmas is the commercialization of Christmas. And you guys go batshit crazy about this every year. And I've just never had a platform to address it on where, I had somewhat control without getting cut off, because you can't go on TV or radio and complain about this. What is the big, it's a fucking commercial. And you guys lose your shit every year. It's being dropped tonight at midnight. And I saw somebody tweet earlier that they've been booked to go on Sky and talk about it. I only get booked to go on Sky once every 4 years when there's a presidential election. And whoever the fuck this is gets to go on and talk about a commercial?
Yep. It's brilliant.
I've not written any jokes about this. I'm just furious. How is this
Don't you enjoy watching the adverts?
No, it's a commercial. That's the thing. That's the reason why, some people we know download things illegally so they don't have to watch the adverts, and that you have things that you pay, like Netflix and other things. I mean, I know there's adverts in Netflix movies, but they're hidden away. It's like, me likey drinking Coca-Cola. That's fine.
But they're always
care.
they're almost cinematic, some of these John Lewis ones.
It's a commercial, and we can't even go to John Lewis anymore.
That's the best point. They're advertising a shop that is effectively shut to us, yeah.
I don't know.
But
I'm going to start ranting about Pantos now. I don't understand those either.
The first question was, what will the song be? I can tell you already what that's going to be. It will be some probably Scandinavian, really young, thin singer doing an 80s classic, but that's been transposed into a minor key. That's all it ever is. Just to make it sound miserable. Let's just have piano and some young singer you've never heard of doing a miserable version of I should be so lucky, lucky. They'll pick any cheesy pop song and turn it into that.
And then it's basically Love Actually, but in a minute and a half.
Yeah. But then there was the one with the kid with the box, the gift, and it was do you remember that, where it looked as though the kid was obsessed about what gift he was going to get, and actually, look, kid had got a gift for his parents. And then someone online had re-edited it to make it look like it was the end of the film Seven, and it was a head in that box. That was great.
See, that I can appreciate. That's a good idea. But I mean, the fact that you're remembering Christmas is based on a fucking commercial is just insane.
There was the other one where there was the old man on the moon. Did you remember the John Lewis advert? Old man lives on the moon on his own. Some little young kid thinks, oh, that's not fine. So she sends up a telescope, which feels like greater torture, so that he can sit there and watch other people having social interaction. I mean, they should have made that one this year, because that's how we're all feeling. Just have it someone looking out of a window with a telescope.
Yeah, was the follow-up commercial of that him standing there naked with the telescope looking into people? Never mind. It's lonely up there on the moon. God damn it! You can only do so much with cheese.
There's some water up there, though. We found that out this year. Mark says, read Christmas ads. The best ever was the 2014 John Lewis sweary penguin version. You see, yeah, they do make funny versions of these. So you're not looking forward to that, Eric?
I think the only one was it the one with, were they the trampoline one with the dog on the trampoline?
Yeah.
All right, that was amusing.
What about Sainsbury's advert from a couple of years ago, which was James Corden singing "The greatest gift I can give this year is me"? And this one, I was doing some stuff for BBC Radio Kent. I re-recorded the song to be "The greatest gift is money," and I redid the entire song, just being like, "Stop buying me absolute crap." We should play it on the show. Actually, let's do that when we get nearer Christmas.
We'll do a Christmas advert special to look back on all the great Christmas adverts from all time.
Yep.
I'm Casey Kasem. I mean nothing to you guys.
No, it does Casey Kasem, the voice of Shaggy.
Yeah,
Hey,
he was,
Scoob.
well, I think it was Casey. It might be a different Casey.
No,
he would do
one,
like
old
top
guy.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over here we had a TV show called America's Top 10, and hey, I'm Casey Kasem. Here's American's Top 10. Hey, Scoob.
See, that's the kind of thing you need to remember, not the Sainsbury's commercials.
We're not going to see eye to eye on this.
It's just a problem. I don't have an answer to it. I don't know. I couldn't write jokes, but I got too angry, and so yeah, no.
I'm all for it.
Shouldn't be talking about Christmas until Thanksgiving anyway. So
What's sorry? What?
yeah, exactly.
It's talking about Christmas until
You have to have Thanksgiving, and then the Christmas season begins. So you don't do anything Christmassy until Thanksgiving happens.
Is that one word? I can't. Is it Thanksgiving? It's not ringing any bells.
It's where we give thanks for getting rid of our colonial. It's not actually where we give thanks for. It's where.
How can you give thanks? You've not received your adverts yet.
It's where we give thanks for taking over the indigenous population of a nation. But anyway, it's a great holiday.
Some of the messages coming through then. Let's get these up here. Is the new med sold by Wow-Ho Black Betty, Whoa-Ho Black Betty, Bamalam, etc.? I'm not going to say the name of that product again because it took me half an hour just to do the pre-recorded version.
All right, there we go. What else have we got?
Britt says, how can you not like Kevin the Carrot hanging out with Spike the Hedgehog? He's a little prick. Bum bum.
Was that another commercial?
Yeah, Lidl's. I think it's Lidl or Aldi. Oof, that's when advertising doesn't work, isn't it? But yeah, there's a character called Little Kevin the Carrot.
I just don't get it. Don't you have any culture in this country?
No, we've not been around as long as America with our pamphlet of history.
We've got culture.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. I think that's there we go.
Right, we're up to date. Keep the messages coming through, and if you could chuck some money in the pot, it would be very much appreciated. Keeps us afloat, and obviously we have to pay for props, so it's not cheap. This another problem. How do we fix the economy in this entire mess of COVID nonsense? Some good news. Results out at the moment saying that the UK economy has grown by 15%. Some people are saying that's thanks to Eat Out to Help Out. By the way, recent research said that Eat Out to Help Out caused a 17% increase in infections. So is that worth it? 15% GDP increase, 17% increase in infections. It depends who you ask. If you ask a business owner, they will probably say something different to if you ask someone who's now dead. So it's difficult to work out which way we're going. But when it comes to the economy, you've got to get businesses back. You've got to start doing the things that were shut down. And good news, because there seems to be a resurgence of cruises. Royal Caribbean came up with this idea of mock cruises, and they wanted volunteers, apparently, to try and go and see if people would be interested in going back on cruises.
Okay.
Cruises aren't known for being the most sanitary form of travel, and that's not great when you think how bad the tube is. But I like the idea. I think what they're doing, and at least they're being honest about it, by their saying, look, this is not going to be the most comfortable way, the most comfortable moment for you to have a holiday because of all the worry about picking up some stuff. And they've really reflected that well in their latest advert. Let's take a look.
Tired of spending weeks stuck in your own home? Then spend a magical 2 weeks stuck on a cruise. Corona Cruises offers all-inclusive packages, food, accommodation, and the inevitable medical costs. See the sights of the Caribbean through the safety of your own room's window. You'll feel so relaxed after 2 weeks at sea, followed by 14 days in quarantine. You'll really get away from it all. Unless someone on the cruise has it, in which case, you'll catch it too. Coronavirus, norovirus, and depending on who's been near the buffet, hepatitis C. Corona Cruises, the cruise to take before you die.
Okay, who's in?
Nice.
No one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything to get out of here.
So yes, we
Rather be dying somewhere. I'm just waiting for the circuit to come back for that.
if you don't want to spend the money on a cruise, chuck it in the Ko-fi pot. It would be very much appreciated.
Oh dear. Well, going back to Mark's. He's talking about America culture versus British culture. Mark Randall said Americans have culture, Britons have penicillin.
Indeed. Discovered by the Scots.
Did take me a little while to get that joke.
Good.
Didn't understand it. I googled it.
A few weeks ago, the Midlands Air Ambulance actually landed near to where I live, says Mark. I realised I did pick the Midlands Air Ambulance picture, which doesn't make sense that happens in the Caribbean. But again, this is a comedy show. It's not... The picture of the Caribbean was the Caribbean. I got that right.
I'm glad that our audience is the kind of audience that can identify that kind of thing. Yeah. That level of detail. That's what we want.
Yeah.
We don't want people watching this going, I didn't even notice that air ambulance was from the wrong place.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favourite messages we ever had on this show is when I did the sketch about Pret, and the only complaint was that in my pretending to make a Pret sandwich, I'd buttered both slices of bread, and actually they only butter one in Pret. Like, wow, okay, I do apologise. Take your money back.
We lost a few viewers that day.
Vera on Twitch says, funny. We'll take that. Thank you, Vera.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, that's what we want. And not just, pedantic things about the wrong helicopter being used, for fuck's sake.
Funny. I mean, I'm glad we've got dressed up. We've written some jokes and stuff. Didn't quite get the right helicopter, but other than that, it's all right.
It was a busy day. And you were practicing saying the flam bing bong bang.
I'd say all that. And there is a chance that some of those cruise liners don't actually go to the Caribbean, but again.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I think there's some lovely cruises in the Midlands.
Yeah, you could go up and down the Thames. Mark says, apparently the Americans have something called Black Friday, celebrating a mass power failure or something like that.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about that after this summer.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that was one of those things that we really imported. We started to do that about 3 years ago, and it died off quickly over here. And it can't happen this year, can it? Black Friday sales for the shops that will be closed.
Well, I think it's all Amazon Day now, isn't it? It's all about buying things online.
Oh, good, because I really worry that Jeff Bezos doesn't quite have enough money yet.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what he doesn't spend his money on? Fucking Christmas commercial.
Oh, Mark Randall says, yes, having an air ambulance for the part of the UK that is literally the furthest from the coast works. That air ambulance will cover Ashby de la Zouch, which is the furthest place from the coast in the UK. Floating over there.
There you go. See, it's meta satire, Mark. That's what he was doing there.
Vera says, I can see. Good job. By the way, hi from the Czech Republic. Hello, Vera.
Oh, yeah, Vera.
We got dressed up for you then.
We'll work, if you send us some problems from the Czech Republic, we will integrate them into next Tuesday's show, because we're here every Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah. Are you setting the bar that we should try and do topical comedy about the latest news in the Czech Republic?
Whatever grows our audience. If we become famous in Czech, I'll do it.
Okay, you can write those jokes. I'll stick to the silly ones about air ambulances. This guy wants to do more research than I do. It's truth.
Yep.
Right, are we up to date with all the other message boards? Let's have a look. Lynn Brown says Super Bowl commercials get the same kind of hype and pre-show where they're gonna go ad nauseum. Eric, actually, while you're dissing Britain and its Christmas obsession with our adverts, Super Bowl adverts.
Those are important and an integral part of the rich. I mean, when Columbus discovered America, the first thing he did was cut an ad for it. And that was part of the Super Bowl between the Chickapock tribe and I don't know where I'm going with
struggling to make up words, aren't they? The chicken pox and something.
Let's talk about the Czech Republic. They're on lockdown there as well. So there we go.
Yeah. Vera says, sounds good. We have lockdown here now, so lots of free time. How many lockdowns are you in? Because in the UK, we're in our second one. And I don't want to predict what the future's like for you. But the second one is nowhere near as good as the first one, like most sequels.
Yeah. Well, partly because the kids are still at school and they're all getting sick now.
Yeah.
So
the way it's going to go is Lockdown 1 was pretty harsh. Lockdown 2, the sequel, is Lockdown 2, Lockdownia. Lockdown 3, Revenge of the Sourdough. And then Lockdown 4 that will happen next year is I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, because this summer no one did anything thanks to Lockdown 1. That's how that works.
Yep. Bodes well. Let's see what John said. Disney has advertised its new Christmas advert. They've got an advert now.
Yeah. Oh, the Czech Republic's on their second one. So it's not it's not as much fun, is it? The first one's got all that novelty, but it's not as much fun as the second one.
Good times.
Yeah. You should have been watching this show during Lockdown 1 when we had piss poor webcams and absolutely no idea what we were doing. You missed a treat.
Yeah, it's not really changed much.
Yeah.
But you can go back. They're all on YouTube, which is a good way to say you can watch back the shows on YouTube if you'd be so inclined. All the shows are there, and if you enjoy what you're watching, you can tell people about it. Watch back past episodes. You can watch the 4.5 hours we did on U.S. election night.
Wow.
I'm sure that's got a lot of playback. But that's all there. And we do little clips and things on our Twitters and all that kind of stuff. So please tell people about the show.
Yeah, and if you've enjoyed this evening's entertainment anywhere near enough, then just chuck some money in our Ko-fi. Would be very much appreciated. It keeps this show, it pays for these ties that we have to go out and buy.
Ties. Got the ties. And we do a podcast of the show, or when I say we, I mean Steve does a podcast of the show as well. So if you're so podcast inclined, you can share it on podcasts and things. And you can, I've got a new podcast as well, so I'm going to quickly plug that. I haven't even talked to Steve about this yet. It's called American Exchange, where yesterday I talked to Anthony Scaramucci.
Well, look in the comment section. Mark has something to say on that.
There we go. Mark listened to it, and he thought it was an interesting look at American psyche. So there we go. Thank you very much, Mark. So
Chris,
check that out.
Chris has a comment as well, just saying Lockdown 5 will be Trump still claiming victory. That'll be so much fun.
Yes, but the lockdown in that case will be him in federal prison.
That's why I don't know why he's worried about it. At the moment, his lifestyle's being bankrolled by the taxpayers. It still will be.
It still will be.
Yeah.
Definitely will be. There we go. But we got one more comment. What did Britt say here? Lockdown 1, staying at home and clapping for the NHS. Lockdown 2, sudden inability to count to 6.
Do you know what, Britt? I take your point there about people can't count how many people are in 6, but also today I was in a shop. It was essential. I was in a shop and I had one of those, you know when people stand too close behind you? I don't like it anyway, but I'm thinking like, it's 2 meters, pal. Come on. And he got too close. Now, I'm an easygoing kind of guy. I'm willing to let someone stand 1 meter away from me because we're both wearing masks. I'm not going to be a dick about it. But this guy was right up on my back. And so I moved forward to give myself the space.
Yeah.
He moved in. Flipping. And I was this close to doing that thing where you just turn around and go, what part of 2 meters away are you too stupid to count to, you cretin? Which I could have done and pretended it wasn't me because, you can't see my mouth moving. But, yeah. So I woke up in a really good mood today and lost it all when that guy was just trying to get way too close, right up my ass.
Yeah. Shouldn't have gone to that sauna.
It was essential, I tell you. It was essential.
Oh, dear. Right. Well, we probably should let people return to their lives.
Yeah.
We'll be back next Tuesday, 9 o'clock in the UK or whatever time this happens to be, wherever you are. And, is that pretty much it?
Yeah, I think we're all done. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for your contributions. Tuesday, 9 o'clock. We've said all the links. Go and have yourself a good weekend. Till then.
Bye.